it is set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so little stakes are high. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there, and they all live me cat. And I just did love space. Baby, last week,
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, January 12th, 2024. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets, here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, Matasha Hot Boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-yo. And over yonder, the man making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Smash that like button, subscribe, share the show with a friend, comment away, and podcast listeners, please leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. On today's drop, we're going to look at the biggest names traded over the last 5 deadlines to maybe sort of try and figure out who could be the biggest name this deadline. We got an incredible tweet of the night, a must-see tweet of the night, I will say, and we'll end with rapid-fire fun. But first, we're jumping through some of the games. A lot of blowouts there.
Ugly night in the NBA.
Yeah, ugly afternoon maybe, and night. But we got some news as well. But let's start with a game that you guys had on playback, and it was the NBA Paris game, and it was Donovan Mitchell scoring a season-high 45 as the Cavs beat the Nets. Does Paris deserve better, is the question. Or what did you think of the game?
They definitely deserve better from one team. The Brooklyn Nets, However, Donovan Mitchell did show up. The Donovan Mitchell show was fun to watch. The dribble package, he had it all. He had the spins. He had that quick crossover. I like the up and over when there's someone reaching. That's so pretty. He did that to Trendon Watford. He even did it to Nick Claxton's head at one point. He didn't score after, so it's not on the highlights. But a couple pretty moves. And just watching that and hearing about Donovan Mitchell and how he wants to be on USA this summer for the Olympics, made me think of Dwayne Wade. Because Dwayne Wade was the last guy who liked that up and over move. And also, in 2008, he was part of the Redeem team. He was coming off the bench. Kobe, LeBron, Melo starting. And he was the lead scorer on that team. And watching last year with the World Cup, Steve Kerr was saying, Anthony Edwards, you come off the bench. Do your thing. But then the starting lineup didn't really work. So he brought him back into the starting lineup. But I could see Donovan Mitchell being that guy off the bench. Being the Dwayne Wade. Just not passing. Just score, man. And Dwayne Wade was the leading scorer in that Olympics. And they need one of those. And Donovan Mitchell could be that because he's going to be with a lot of stars who would be the starting lineup. Apparently, there's going to be a little release of the guys that they want to have. Not necessarily a public release, but just to push. Guys like even Steph want to be there. Durant wants to be there. So he could be off the bench. I could see that happening. Anyways. It was good that he was there.
Yes.
Yes, it was good that he was there because this was a boring, tedious watch. I was yawning through the fourth quarter at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. The Nets shot 45% from the field. The Cavs shot 39% from the field. Both teams finished under 30% from three. Luckily, Mitchell was there, but you can tell that the game wasn't all that because everybody's talking about will he make the Olympic team in the summer, just because it was in the same city. But 21 points in the fourth quarter. The Nets did stage a little bit of a comeback, and then Mitchell checked back in and slammed the door on him. Started hitting some threes. Basically, only Karis LeVert was playing well alongside Mitchell there on the Cavs, but this was a game. This was a game of basketball.
Well, did they get excited when Tristan Thompson got ejected with like 10 minutes to go in the game? He was pissed off with Nick Claxton, jamming on him or near him, and I guess that cut the lead to 10. It started to get a little close, but Thompson took offense to it. Did the crowd pop, or were they just confused?
Yeah, it was a little...
Okay.
Whatever. A little happening out there. I think, Tristan Thompson had his pride hurt yesterday, I do believe, because they went to hack a Tristan Thompson in the third quarter. You don't see the hacks all that often these days. He steps to the line, knocks down the first one, stares down Jacques Vaughn on the Nets bench, goes to the line for the second one, airballs it completely. Didn't even touch the bottom of the net. And then he's just laughing, running back. They did it again. He missed the next two. Then he got dunked on by Claxton, so he said, I've had enough of this. You're embarrassing me in Paris? No, I'm getting kicked out.
Yeah. Probably wise.
Yeah, the hack of Tristan Thompson in the third quarter. That was early for that. And to see him get tossed like that, even I thought it was a little lame. I like reducing a little bit of the fighting, air quotes, fighting. But Nick Claxton, after the dunk and after the whistle, just was walking back to his own bench. And he got in Tristan Thompson's way, so Tristan Thompson used his chesticles to bump him. Yes, absolutely, that's what happened. But a flagrant 2 for just tossing. If it wasn't for the quick crossovers of Donovan Mitchell and scoring 21 in the fourth quarter, this game would have been yikes.
Yeah.
That would have been the highlight we would have been talking about. Tristan Thompson bumping. But Donovan Mitchell was really good in that fourth.
Yeah, and you said it there. Several officials from USA Basketball were on hand to watch. He went 15 of 30 from the field, 11 of 13 at the line. He had 12 boards, too, which was one shy of his career high. And The Athletic did report on Wednesday that USA Basketball, they're going to begin formally recruiting players for the Paris Olympics by the end of this month. So I don't know, it'll likely be leaked, right? We'll get a list of 35, 40 players who might make the final 12-man roster. So we can look forward to that, yeah. Luckily, Mitchell put on a show for everybody in Paris.
Yes.
You have to assume it'll be a little bit more fanfare next year if Wembanyama is there with the Spurs. Yeah. At least he is there. I mean, we'll see who they're playing, whether the game is any good, but it is what it is. Moving on.
There's a couple of interesting things here, though, that actually happened in the Paris.
You were yawning. I didn't know you had notes. Good.
No, it has nothing to do with the game.
Oh.
Things that are happening around the game. Joe Varden reported that Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, both starters for Brooklyn, both received IVs for undisclosed illnesses, played reduced minutes. I think they got the Lee Ellis special, would be my guess. Undisclosed illnesses, but they were still able to play.
They had fun. They had fun in Paris.
They had fun in Paris. They didn't do much out there on the court. Also, the Nets hosted, this is from Joe Varden as well, the Nets hosted a symphonic tribute to Notorious B.I.G. at the Paris Opera House.
I did see that.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that was one of the best things that Jacques Vaughn has ever been to. That's what he said. He said that sounded good.
That
to
sounds
me.
cool.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Yeah, too much fun though for Spencer Dinwiddie there. He's like the big.
Who was the biggest star in attendance? Obviously, Tony Parker's always there. Joakim Noah, former NBA players. Pharrell in a cowboy hat.
His hat.
Yeah, he left early.
Did he?
Yep.
And a lot of soccer stars as well.
Oh, Mbappe. Yeah. Okay.
All of PSG was there, basically.
Yeah, old Ronaldo.
Ronaldo was there. Beckham.
Yeah, Beckham was there as well. The thing with the 35-40 list for the Team USA, I don't think that we're all going to see that because there's going to be, number one, there's going to be lots of people from that list that say, no, I'm not going. And I don't think they want the public to see that. I think that's going to be a private list that Steve Kerr and Grant Hill may have.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. So Joe Varden will leak it.
Joe Varden will leak it. He's all over Team USA. Two last nuggets here.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges, we know about his streak. He says he's eaten Chipotle every day for a decade. I think it's dubious. I don't know how he would have gotten it in the bubble, personally, but he did get it delivered to his hotel room in Paris. He's like, got that Potle. That was awesome.
Wow. Yeah, it looked like he didn't order it, that they just knew that he's been ordering it forever, so they just showed up.
Okay.
Yeah, just a marketing move.
Yeah, okay.
And finally, Jared Allen took a picture with the Eiffel Tower and sent it to his mom.
Hey, I love all this stuff. This is
right?
great.
That stuff's better than the game. All of that was very cool and fun. And the game was the game.
Did we ever find out if Jeff Hamilton made those leather jackets? Does anybody know?
Great question. The answer soon to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the other games on yesterday, a lot of them blowout variety. Even the close one was sort of a blowout until the Knicks made it interesting with a late push. But you see it here. Bucks trounced the tired-looking Celtics, 135-102. Thunder rolled past the Blazers, 139-77. Not a typo. That 62-point victory matched the fifth largest rout in NBA history. Kyrie Irving scored 44 as the Luka-less Mavericks beat the Knicks, 128-124. Like I said, that one got close. And then Beal and Booker combined for 68 points as the Suns rolled to the 127-109 victory over the Lakers. Things were getting so bad on TNT in the doubleheader that Ernie was cutting away from the Celtics getting killed by the Bucks to like a 20-point difference in the Knicks game at the time. Like they were just like, we don't know what to show you here. So one of these nights in the NBA, but any games or any performances that you wanted to touch on?
I love Ernie calling for the red zone, essentially. Let's jump over to this game. It was literally the worst night of the NBA this season, and that's fine. That's fine. It was blowout after blowout after blowout. I thought the Knicks showing up in Dallas would be a lot different. They just started it off so poorly, let Kyrie go off. OJ Anunoby went to guard him in the third quarter. They didn't start that way. They just got way behind. It was a 1-point game, though, in the last 30 seconds, and they let Dallas get 3 offensive rebounds. They had 4 shots in a 1-point game.
That's tough.
That could have been way different.
Yeah.
But there's just so many of those, and they got down so early. And we were talking, actually, while watching the Nets and the Cavs. Are the Nets going to beat the 82 points of the Hornets, which is the lowest scoring number this season?
Oh,
and they did,
yeah.
But then the Blazers beat it yesterday. 77.
Amazing.
They lost by 62. They lost by 73 a couple of years ago, but that has nothing to do with anything. That's
Well, the Thunder did.
I'm sorry. The Thunder did. Well, no, the Thunder lost by 73 a couple of years ago. Shea was sitting, so it was okay back then. But this was just a womp. 62-point victory. That's the
Straight up womp.
It matched the 5th largest rout in NBA history. That just doesn't happen. So when they lost 2 years ago by 73, that's the biggest difference in NBA history. Yeah, weird one. Weird stuff out there last night.
Yeah, very strange. Do you have any notes?
Just quickly on Kyrie, scored 44 points last night. Let me run the numbers here on how many shots he actually made. 15 shots, 3 of them were layups. This guy was absolutely cooking with the jumper. He also had 10 assists, so a lot of time when he was getting into the lane, he was spraying out to shooters. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a really good game. The Mavs hit 17 threes. They looked good. I thought that was a nice win for Dallas because they had a great win against Minnesota. Then they had a real bummer loss against the Grizzlies right after they found out about Ja Morant. And then now they beat a hot New York team. No Luka. And they were also missing Derek Lively, who hasn't played in a little bit. And same with Dante Exum. So I thought that was a really nice win for Dallas, for Kyrie stepping up there. Then in that Lakers-Suns game, kind of interesting. Bradley Beal, a season-high 37 points and 8 threes. The Suns took 39 attempts from 3 in this game. That's tied for their 4th most this season. Big-time area of improvement for Phoenix, and Beal is the key there because Phoenix is 26th in 3-point attempts, 21st in 3-point rate. We know they're mid-range monsters, but Beal was looking and shooting threes last night, knocking them down, which was great for the Suns. On the flip side, the Lakers, they don't guard the 3-point line at all. They allow the most threes per game. Teams are shooting 38% against them. Then offensively, they're 29th in 3-point attempt rate, 28th in makes per game. They make 11 of them in a game, give up 14. You're down 9, starting the game, just from your averages, really. So LA needs some 3-point shooting.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They need a guard who can do it because it's not coming from anybody there. It's just the way it is. They obviously need Gabe Vincent to be healthy. But I do find the thing with Anthony Davis a little bit odd because Darvin Ham said before the season, he's going to shoot a lot of threes. That's what he's going to do. But Anthony Davis hasn't gone back to bubble Anthony Davis. He's only shooting 1 3 per game. It just doesn't happen. I'm just a little surprised why you just wouldn't stand out there and stroke them because, as you said, they're so far down in the ratings as far as 3 balls go, but it's just not going to happen. So they need a guard, desperately need a guard to do that. But it was cool to see Beal on the other side look fantastic.
That was the best I think he's looked all season.
Definitely.
He even was dribbling into some of those threes, but the Lakers were taking away Durant. Durant scored in the teens. Booker looking great at the point guard spot. That's what this team was built for. Bradley Beal, you're the 3rd best guy. You're just going to get open shots.
Yeah.
He had open 3 after open 3 after open 3. So 37 for him, and Durant can just chill with an 18-point night.
Yeah, I think heading into the game, even Vogel talked about the Suns shoot more threes. Like, we should be shooting more threes. So they obviously took that to heart. And Durant talked about, like, telling Booker, like, stop looking for me so much. Like, go, cook, man. Like, and you always know, I've said this before, Booker in the first quarter, man, like, he has either games where he can't score at all or he has those 16-point first quarters and it's like, whoa, he's here to play tonight. And it was one of those games last night as they rolled to the victory. And the Bucks needed that one just to jump to that. I know it was, we didn't even have starters playing for the Celtics in the second half. Bit of a schedule quirk there. They're not the first team to play a back-to-back in the NBA, so we don't need to cry for them that much. But they went to overtime against the Wolves and then play Milwaukee. And Milwaukee needed this one. They had been reeling or sliding a little bit there in terms of all the losses piling up. So to get this one, Bobby Portis was really, really good, along with Giannis, if you're going to look for anything in this one.
Get rid of the back-to-backs. Adam Silver, I know you want to move to the in-season tournament and have a soccer sort of tournament. We'll have a soccer sort of style and don't have back-to-backs. I think we can get rid of them. It's true. Why not? There's like 14.
You want a 12-month NBA season?
No, sir.
You want a shorter season?
Yes.
That would be nice. Listen,
That's
it's only
the key, but they'll never do it.
Yeah.
I know it is sort of the key, but each team only has like 15. So I'm just saying 15 back-to-back.
Yeah.
So you could, expand the season by 15 days and just literally get rid of them. That's not that hard at the beginning of October.
They did that. They started the season earlier and they moved it back.
Yeah, but it was just 1 week. It hasn't obviously. They're doing a bunch of weird things with the in-season tournament. Everybody takes some time off, just chill. The All-Star game, just chill. I don't know. The back-to-backs just suck. Period, in general. But anyways,
True.
Totally.
No one's going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
But
To be fresh,
unless we
everybody
go
needs to be
12
fresh.
months long seasons, which no,
it doesn't have to be. Well,
then we
first
have to
of-
cut 15 games, and then we're done.
Yeah, it
Then
would
you'd
be nice to
take-
cut off games for sure. Cut some games, or it's not 12 months, but it would make the season longer,
Yeah.
which stinks. The only positive I thought watching that Phoenix Lakers game that made me smile was seeing Bol smile. This guy is the backup center for the Phoenix Suns now, which is unexpected. The guy was signed in September to a minimum deal. He scored this basket where he spun, looked like Donovan Mitchell out there, and he scored, and he just came back with the biggest teeth smile I've ever seen on Bol. So respect to that, respect to him being their backup center. It is interesting how they're trying to move all of these pieces. Frank Vogel's trying to just piece things around their big three, and Bol looks good.
All right, that's way too much on last night's blowout games. Let's move to LeBron and Giannis still leading their respective conferences in the second fan returns of NBA All-Star voting. The league dumped this on us yesterday. Here's a quick look. In the West, not a lot changed. It's LeBron, Jokic, KD as your three front court guys, and then Luka and Curry still as the guards, leading when it comes to the fan vote. Again, 50% this accounts for, and then the media and the players have 25% when it comes to their vote. And in the East, it's Giannis, it's Embiid, it's Tatum. Again, no surprise. But we had one little change here. Halliburton still leads the guards in total votes, and Trae Young has jumped Damian Lillard. So he is slotted into the second spot. Asked you this last week. I'll ask you again. Any surprises, TK, from second fan returns here of NBA All-Star voting?
Well, I think Trae Young moving into the starting spot is the biggest surprise, but he's also averaging 28 points per game and 11 assists while shooting like a career high from three right now. Definitely deserving, but I was going back and looking, I was like, okay, how did this actually happen? Because Trae went on that streak of 7 games where he had 30 points and 10 assists. I was thinking, oh, people were just watching those games, but that was before the first returns voting. So I don't know what happened here. I guess Lillard hasn't been super impressive for the past 1 week, but it seems like Hawks fans just got behind Trae Young right here. And despite the fact he's been a little bit cold recently, it'd be nice for him to start an All-Star game. He has before, but sure, send him back.
Yeah, for sure. He's moved up to second, dropped Lillard. I would say from the East, the Celtics fans also did some work. Porzingis jumped up a couple spots. Derek White jumped up a spot. So did Drew Holiday. And so with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum up there, that's 5 starters for the Boston Celtics among these 20 names. That's 25% of these 20 names. Respect. The New York Knicks at least got Julius Randle on the ballot.
Yeah.
He wasn't on it before.
That's
now
right.
he's 8th among forwards. He wasn't there before. So some teams doing some voting. Same with Devin Booker. He showed up. He wasn't on there before.
In related All-Star news,
I was going to ask, any harsh words for Raptors fans?
yeah, where's Scotty Barnes? Nowhere to be seen. Siakam, nowhere to be seen. I guess that's less surprising. But then again, I've also said, like, personally, I don't think anybody should be voting for really any other forward in the Eastern Conference outside of Embiid, Giannis, and Tatum. That's how I would be filling out the ballot, picking 3 cents. But yeah, a lot, Canada does generally pretty well in this, getting behind the Raptors and their players, and he has been good. Though then you look at the record and you're like, it's a Hawks-like record, right? But Trae Young, a little more fanfare from either Hawks fans. That's probably just from like kids and fans of the NBA, I think, more than even Hawks fans. I don't know many Hawks fans, if I'm being honest. So yeah, a little surprising though that he's not even cracking the top 10. Either of those guys.
Barnes deserves it.
Deserves to be 10th.
I'm
He might
surprised
be
he's not
10th after the Darko rant. People know who he is now.
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Like Cat is 10th in the Western Conference amongst forwards. That's a small market thing, I guess, with the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's kind of odd. Like, Wemby and Holmgren are above Towns as they battle 8th and 9th. What a battle. What a Rookie of the Year battle there, 8 and 9. But it is, looking at the Western Conference forwards, it is fun. Jokic, he jumped Durant for second in Western Conference forwards. Şengün jumped Paul George for 6th for the Western Conference forwards. Hey, Turkey.
Yeah.
Doing their thing.
I mean, for the most part, I think fans are getting it right, but I would have SGA over Curry right now filling out a ballot as one of the guards, and I would have probably Jalen Brunson as the other guard instead of Trae Young to go along with Halliburton. But for the most part, and then again, like, it'll be interesting.
Jalen is 6th. That's pretty far low for the Eastern Conference guards.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, exactly.
But it'll be interesting to see when, if this, let's just say Trae Young stays in second, 50% of the vote again from the fans, how will the media and players generally never vote well for Trae Young, if I remember correctly.
Not last
Probably
year.
not.
Yeah.
I don't know if last year was the first
where
year,
does
but-
he fall in those votes, and who does that help? Brunson, Mitchell, maybe Dame, stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll start making our actual All-Star picks in the coming weeks here as well. I was going to say, in other All-Star news, maybe some leaked jerseys. We don't know. This was making the way around the Twitter sphere yesterday. From @Brandon1An on Twitter, on X. What do you guys think? Got some maybe, again, potential 2024 NBA All-Star jerseys here. A red and a blue, because we're going east-west again. Thoughts? What do you think? Good, bad, meh?
I think these are good.
I sort of like them if they're real, too.
I love pinstripes.
Okay.
I'm assuming the blue one would be the East. I went back and looked at like old Michael Jordan All-Star games, and it seemed the Eastern Conference either wears white or blue for the most part. So that's what I'm guessing. But yeah, I mean, the Pacers, their most famous uniforms aren't their pinstripes, but they had a lot of great moments in the pinstripes as well. So I like them playing off that. And then anytime you use cream as a trim, it looks great.
Yeah. Tass?
I say they're very solid. The pinstripes just makes them less regular, less just sort of normal, standard stuff as it was last year. So yeah, they've taken a little step up, and I do like the colors are simple, but I like how it's bold enough. I think the red one especially is bold enough.
Has like a vintage feel, right? The colors to me, maybe with the cream and the simplicity of it all. If again these are the jerseys, and I think would fit well with the aesthetic of Indiana. So we'll see if those are real. Thanks to Brandon there on Twitter. Got some news here. Grizzlies guard Marcus Smart has suffered a severe right finger injury, and he will be sidelined for 6 weeks. This is another injury to another key member of the Memphis Grizzlies backcourt, coming 2 days after John Morant tore his labrum, forcing him to miss the rest of the season. There's obviously no Steven Adams for the season. Brandon Clark going to miss basically maybe the entire season now, with the way their season's probably going to go. Thoughts on this one here from Smart, going to miss a chunk of time.
Thought is that was strange how it happened. It was swiped down upon by Kyrie Irving, but then Marcus Smart continued to play. He shot a 3, and after he shot it, he looked at his fingers and he thought, whoa, I got to do something.
That's messed up.
It looked crazy. yeah.
Literally displaced.
Yeah.
So that's when he walked off.
Yeah.
It's just weird that it happened that late. Why wouldn't you just go off right after you got hacked? But I guess it felt fine enough until he let it rip.
Tough as nails, man.
Yeah, but maybe it's the shot. Maybe it's the shot form. I don't know. It was because it's his ring finger.
Yeah.
It's like I say it's his shot form, but then he went and celebrated with these 2 fingers. He did a 3 sign. He did a
But he
3
had a
ball.
weird one just
And then he looked at it.
Half. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's what made it weird because he celebrated. What the? And so that was weird. It's just so many injuries for these guys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's cool, though, that he made his last 3. That's cool. Smart was actually playing probably about as well as he had so far this season. But for Memphis right now, their only point guards left on the roster are Derrick Rose and Jacob Gilyard, who are kind of like on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum of 4th string point guards, like guy way past his prime, guy you've never heard of. So they'll probably make some sort of move to pick up some sort of dude. We shall see who it is, and obviously this ain't the season for the Grizzlies. Are they going to trade Luke Kennard? That was my big takeaway looking at this team. They probably don't need Luke Kennard right now. That's a guy you have on your team if you're trying to make a playoff push. Maybe help somebody else out over there. Give me Ish Smith for Luke Kennard. I don't know. Like something simple so they can have a point guard who can pass it to Bane and Jackson.
Yeah. And Marcus Smart was playing well, as I said.
Yeah.
Hitting threes.
Well, you had brought up his name as a potential guy that maybe they would move the Grizzlies, because you could see teams wanting a guy like Marcus Smart, of course, come playoff time. But I wonder if that changes this at all.
Right. But as far as the front office must go, they must look at the roster and say, got to trade the older guys. Luke Kennard, yes, you're allowed to be dealt. And potentially Marcus Smart as well. We thought Marcus Smart would work well with this team, just being their heart and soul.
And he might. We just don't know.
Yeah, because, again, like 25.7, 4.7 assists, great percentages, shooting really well the last 3 games. There's just the last 3 games. So he was helping.
Good. I was like, what?
There's
no way Marcus Smart is averaging 25 a game. I was gonna be shocked.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
that would come back to earth.
I was just gonna check the standings here, like where they are in terms of win losses. They're low, but still, I mean, they have 14 wins, and then you've got all these other shitty teams in the league. Like, you really would have to commit to not winning many games from here on out to get into like the top 4, help your odds for the number 1 pick when we're talking Spurs and Pistons and Wizards and Hornets and stuff like that, and even Blazers there.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
14 wins for the Grizzlies, and 5th worst record right now is the Hornets, who have 8 wins. They've almost got double the wins already, and they just unfortunately picked one up against Dallas earlier this week. But who knows? The end of the season, weird stuff happens. Like, 6 weeks for a dislocated finger sounds like a long time to me. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys play through them.
Yeah.
Shout out Kobe Bryant. But smart to sit him down. Oh,
nice. Wow.
Smart me.
All right, final piece of news here I want to slip in before we take a break. The NBA is finalizing plans to turn the 2024 draft into a 2-night event in Brooklyn. According to Woj, the draft would be split into first and second rounds on successive nights, June 26th and 27th. But the league must still get final approval from the Players Association before the plan can be made official. I guess the idea here is NBA teams, they're a little frustrated with the chaotic speed of the second round, and that they would like it over 2 nights to allow a little more time to plan their strategies and to make deals and stuff like that. That's the thinking behind this. Okay?
Yeah, it's totally fine. I don't know which one means more to the league. The fact that teams get to talk more, and have more time for the second day and develop some more involved deals, with more teams and talk to each other and even talk to each other after the first round. Or is it the NBA wanting to get paid a little bit more because it'll be on 2 days on TV, like the NFL? I'm not sure which one matters more, but I think it is good for front offices, period. Even after the first round ends, they could just be sitting there and chatting for 4 more hours instead of the whole thing being done, to work things out create their own chaos. So I think it helps staffs talk to their own staff and then talk to other teams as well. And it also helps the NBA make money.
Trey, what do you think of this?
Sure. Okay. I think the same thing is when they announced it over the summer that they were looking at this. The only way it makes any sense is if they do lottery on night 1, cap it there, and we come back for the second half of round 1 on day 2, and then all of round 2.
Yeah. Sounds like they're not going to do that, but yeah.
But they should.
Yeah.
Because who's tuning in for the second round on a Friday night?
No. Apparently it might be Wednesday and Thursday, so not Friday night, but no one. I mean, very few people are. Like, the sickos of all sickos are going to be tuning in to see the 54th pick being swapped around 3 times on the second night of the draft. But it makes sense from the team building, because it does go quick there in the second round. It has to, because the whole thing still takes, like, how long does that thing go for on one night?
A long
5 hours?
It goes late.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Like, it's, I don't know, I'd tune out after, like, you get at least a first round, and it's like, okay, get out of here. But
I think there'll be some people tuning in. What else is going on late June? There ain't a whole lot of other sports. Baseball? And the fact that it moves to primetime instead of being on at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Eastern. And 12 p.m. I mean, not a lot.
I guess. I do not think
you're hitting on it right there, Tass. It's all about money. No,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the NBA teams are going to have more time to make second-round trades.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll see the number 60 pick go for cash considerations. They needed 3 more minutes to figure that out. It's all about putting something else in prime time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if anybody watches it, because it'll be more than no people watching no show.
All right.
Yeah. It is about money for the NBA as TV partners. They say, hey, TV partners, go get more money from ads and buy it for more from us, as far as the NBA goes. So yeah, absolutely. I think there will be some weird GMs making some second round deals though that are a little bit more interesting. Maybe a Luke Kennard gets thrown in the deal. I don't know.
Oh, man! Tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Luke Kennard may be moved for a top 55 protected second-round pick.
Oh, my God.
Look, they're trying to copy the NFL and what they do.
They should copy less games from the NFL. They will take everything else except for less games. Scarcity of games.
Yes.
No way. We're an inventory sport, not an event sport.
There should be less games.
Good point.
There should be less games. The
NFL's adding games. The NFL's going one way, the NBA's going.
NBA's like, we'll play 82 games, if the NFL went to an 82-game schedule, people would watch all 82 games. That's the crazy thing.
It's probably
There's
true.
a playoff game this weekend for NFL Wildcard Weekend, which is a very, very popular weekend.
Hell yeah.
But one of those games is solely on Peacock.
Oh, yeah. You're going to see a lot of frustrated people this weekend.
You got to go to Peacock? That's too far.
Hey, you guys want to come over to watch the game?
You got the Peacocks?
You know I got the cock.
I'm cocked up as well.
Are you? Sweet.
Absolutely.
I like it as a in-and-out wrestling fan. It's great. Get all the events.
I'm
You got
cocked
the
up
Royal
too,
Rumble
guys.
coming. You got the cock too.
I got cock up the
You got
wazoo.
the cock, man.
It's great to go in and out. We will be coming over you.
You know when I got the cock? In all honesty, I got it for it must have been USA basketball games. Remember that they were showing exclusively on Peacock there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I got
summer.
the service. And then it was, it's $5.99 a month, $4.99, something like that.
You can keep it as long as your wife doesn't notice. Like, why are we subscribed to Peacock? Well, Royal Rumble's on once a year.
I can't wait for the Rumble, man. It's coming up.
Premier League as well. That's why I have it.
Oh, right.
Nice one.
Yeah, the cock is great.
Yeah, get the cock, man.
Yeah, I've got other methods.
We got to take a break. Let's take a break. Getting loopy in here. When we come back, we're going to look at some of the biggest names moved over the last 5 trade deadlines. We'll take a stroll down memory lane. Don't go anywhere.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. New year, new you? No. New year, same you, but better. Around New Year's, it's easy to get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. Maybe you finally organized one part of your space and you want to tackle another, or maybe you've started doing squats to help your power in the lane and now you're ready to really start pumping iron. Could it be any of us? Therapy really helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that stick. Therapy isn't just for those who have experienced major trauma, it's for everybody who wants to be empowered to be the best version of themselves. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/nodunks today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/nodunks.
Recently, I saw how Clippers head coach Ty Lue was all dressed up after the game. Long jacket, stylish top hat, perfect pants. He looked great.
He had a top hat?
Gotta wear
Yeah,
that top
yeah.
hat?
Wow, I missed that. Cool.
Yeah, he was going to LeBron's 70s themed birthday party.
There you go.
He looked good. And it reminded me, Indochino makes fully customized suits that don't require a trip to the tailor to get that perfect fit. Years ago, I got Danielle to measure me. I input them all on Indochino's website. It took me less than 10 minutes. Now I never have to go shopping for anything again. You can pick and choose anything stylish, like Ty Lue or anyone you prefer. There's lots of people at that party, lots of people looking good. I saw the photos. Customize anything to get suit designs to suit and fit you. They are endless on Indochino. I like adding a different color trim on everything just to make it stand out. Quality is great, and it's an affordable price, head to toe. New colors, fabrics, and outerwear styles added regularly, so it's easy to create your next look. Level up your game with Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code NODUNKS to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's 10% off at INDOCHINO.com with code NODUNKS.
All right, still here in the Classic Factory. Take a second, hit the like button, and just make sure you've subscribed to No Dunks. We're getting close to 100,000 subs, so help us out there. Less than 1 month from the NBA's annual trade deadline, and the remain few marquee players' names involved in active discussions between some of the front offices. And Yahoo Sports' Jake Fisher, he made a good point yesterday, I thought. We already have seen 3 all-star guards change locations this season. Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, and James Harden all dealt before November. And then we had New York acquiring OG Anunoby, sweeping another big name off the board. Fisher continued, so now consider the possibility that Zach LaVine, who Chicago has explored moving since the summer, and then the Raptors' Pascal Siakam, they both remain with their franchises past the February 8th buzzer. It's a possibility. That would leave Hawks guard DeJounte Murray emerging as perhaps the most likely all-star caliber talent to be moved at the deadline. So this article from Fisher got me thinking, who have been the biggest names moved over the last 5 deadlines? And how did the immediate future sort of pan out for those teams that acquired said players, star players? So let's take a trip down memory lane here. 2023. This one's pretty easy. There's 2 to pick from. KD, the Suns acquiring Kevin Durant and TJ Warren from the Nets in a 4-team trade with the Bucks and Pacers. Brooklyn received Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, 4 first-round picks, 23, 25, 27, and 29, and a first-round pick swap in 28 from Phoenix. Yeah. Jay Crowder headed to the Bucks. Indiana netted some second-round picks and took on players into cap space. But yeah, this was obviously the biggest name dealt last year. A couple days prior, Kyrie Irving going to the Mavericks as well. I'm going to leave that one because we've talked about that one before. But how did it work out? It was weird, right? KD hadn't played for a while because he had a MCL sprain. And he had been out since January 8th. So he'd missed 20 games. When he did play in his first game for Phoenix, it was on the road. He looked good. 23 points, 6 boards, 2 assists in 27 minutes. They beat the Hornets. They won. They would go on to win their next 2 road games. KD scored 37 in one of those. It was oh, okay. He's back. But on March 8th, Durant slipped and sprained his left ankle during pregame warmups.
Right.
Knocking him out what was going to be his first Suns home game. He missed the next 10 games due to the injury. And then he returned, and he still looked good. The Suns won another 5 straight with KD averaging about 26 points per game. They went 8-0 when Kevin Durant played at the end of last season. And then they make it into the playoffs. He plays in all 11 playoff games. They beat the Clippers, in 5, and then they lost to Denver in 6. So the jury's still out on this one because there wasn't a lot of time at the end of last year. They won a playoff series. Now Beal's there, and we'll see. It hasn't been great, their overall season, but it's still a TBD here. But by far the biggest name. I mean, Kevin Durant, one of the greatest players of all time, being moved at the deadline, that's going to be tough to beat.
And thank you for mentioning that he's great. And a great teammate, I've heard. But I wonder, I haven't gone through all of Basketball Reference, but I do love the transactions part of a player's page.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Kevin Durant's for this trade.
I'm there too, baby.
And the paragraph is 10 lines long on my computer for all the stuff that was involved because it's a 4-team trade, lots of picks with lots of conditions on them. Is this the biggest chunk of text on all of the Basketball Reference website? We're going to get into some more big trades here. I'm we might see some nice pros from a Harden trade. I don't know. Whatever the biggest trade is, most players, most picks, I would love to know.
Yeah.
I went over there to see about those first-round picks that you were mentioning.
That's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
What Phoenix was able to get. Literally 5 first-round draft picks?
Brooklyn able to get,
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, for Kevin Durant.
Because, I mean, 4 first-round picks and then the swap.
Yeah. So, I wondered when it all happened. I thought it was in the works for months because Kevin Durant seemingly wanted out, and the Raptors seemingly had an option to go trade for him if they wanted to give up Scotty Barnes. But also, apparently, you'd have to give up basically every draft pick you own, essentially.
And this was honestly, let's just call it the Matt Ishbia trade, right?
Yes.
New owner of Suns come in and says, hey, we can get Kevin Durant. Give him whatever they want.
Come on, James.
Empty the cupboards. Get him in here.
Yeah. And I guess that's the last one, including Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell of the huge amount of draft picks, right? I mean, that's this. I guess the Drew Holiday was prior to that, but that was 3 with 2. This was sort of the end of, I think, the last time that this many draft picks were traded for a player.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, you're saying you don't think we're ever going to see a trade again that has four first-round picks?
I can't see the
and
future.
then maybe some swaps too?
Yeah, maybe.
It's a lot. You're
I'm
right.
just not able to live in the future. But right now, because of the apron and everything, it's literally like one draft pick per person, or maybe two. Maybe.
Yeah.
But for Kevin Durant, obviously, you give up a lot. But they haven't. They got to the second round last year. That's about it.
Yeah. It took 2 games off the eventual champions, but we'll see here. Okay, let's go to 2022. There's actually 2 from this one, and I want to touch on both of them. The Nets and 76ers agreed to a blockbuster deal just hours before the trade deadline. James Harden, Paul Millsap going to Philadelphia, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round draft picks going to Brooklyn. This was 2 teams swapping unhappy superstars, or stars, I mean, maybe not a superstar for Ben Simmons, who had been seeking trades. And again, it came in right before the buzzer. At the time of the deal, the 76ers sat 3 games out of first place in the Eastern Conference. Harden came, he played 21 regular season games. He averaged 21, 11, and 7. Team finished 51 and 31. That was good for 4th in the standings, so they slipped from 3rd to 4th, but it was really close. And then what happens? Well, good old James Harden goes on to struggle in the postseason there for Philadelphia. He shot just 40% from the field in the 2 series. He was particularly bad in the losses. And it was a little bit more of like, we've seen this from James Harden at times.
What about the next season, though, Skeets?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
What about the next season? How did the playoffs go?
What better, honestly? It's some better
honestly.
games and then
Had
some
some
really
goodies.
stinkers. But it is funny to think, how did this go for Brooklyn getting Ben Simmons? I mean, even worse.
I guess if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, you look at this and say the Sixers still owe us a 2027 pick, and James Harden is now on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
The Simmons thing has not worked out for Brooklyn, but maybe the picks will.
Yeah. The other one that's more fascinating to me is in the week leading up to the deadline, the Pacers agreed to send 2-time All-Star Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday to the Kings in exchange for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. So this deal was fascinating because it involved 2 teams that had been trying to shake up their rosters because both were in the middle of disappointing seasons. The Pacers were 13th in the East at the time of the trade. They were 19 and 36. And the Kings, who came into the season, you might remember, with a strong desire to make the playoffs and to end the drought, they were stuck at 13th in the West. They were 20 and 35. So they basically had the exact same record, same spot in their conferences. And so they made this deal. We'll give you our one really promising young guard because we feel confident enough with Fox for your 2-time big in Sabonis. And this one's worked out really, really well for both teams. The Pacers finished that season with just 25 wins, but Halliburton averaged 18 and 10 over the final quarter of the season in Indiana, and he blossomed into an all-star the following year. And they also won 10 more games the following year, and now he's, the leading vote-getter for East guards. And the Kings finished the 21-22 season with just 30 wins, but Mike Brown came in, he's hired, and they eventually snapped the playoff drought. And Sabonis has been putting up some monster numbers as of late, too. So this one worked out well. 2 thumbs up. One of the rare win-win trades, really, at least so far.
Yeah, only the Pacers are able to pull this kind of thing off like they did with Victor Oladipo and Paul George as well. It's rare that you trade 2 guys and both players in the trade become All-NBA players, but that's what happened. And you could throw Fox in the mix as well because he became All-NBA after Sabonis showed up, started setting screens, and helped take a little load off him.
Yeah. The Kings had 2 big guard options there, and they had to get rid of one of them, sort of. They moved on. They didn't have the Fox Halliburton chemistry working there, so they got Sabonis in there because they needed a big, just like what the Raptors just did. They need a little Nick. They needed a little. What the Knicks also got in that one. They're both winning because Knicks have scorers. They need OG, and the Raps needed a little bit of guard play as well. But Halliburton, I thought, was going to be the winner of all things in this trade, but it really has worked really well for the Kings too.
2021. Biggest name involved in this trade deadline. Trey Kirby is nodding his head. He knows who it is. The Magic traded all-star center Nikola Vucevic and veteran forward Al Farouk Aminu. There's a name I had not thought about in a long time. To the Bulls for Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter, and a pair of future first-round picks the Bulls own in 21 and 23. That 21 pick, Franz Wagner.
Franz.
Pretty damn good. 23, Jet Howard. verdict still out on that one. But yeah, Vooch was cooking this year when they made this deal. He was averaging a career high 24.5 points per game, 12 boards, 4 assists. He's doing it in Orlando. His scoring dipped in Chicago, but the efficiency and the other stats stayed pretty similar. The real kicker here for this trade is that the Bulls, with Vooch, have played in just 5 playoff games.
Yeah, but how many of the Magic made?
Yeah, that's a good point. Fair. Would you rather have Franz Wagner than Vooch, though? I know it's who knows what
For the
happens.
future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
I mean, Franz is hurt right now, but this trade has basically ended up being Vooch for Franz Wagner.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter Jr. seemed like the big piece that the Bulls were giving up, but he played 62 games with the Magic,
Yep.
then 57. He's only played 13 games this season. He's putting up a triple single. He's their third best center, so losing out on Wendell Carter Jr. doesn't seem to have been as bad as it seemed like it could have been for the Bulls. But yeah, Franz is going to be a star eventually. But the Bulls at this point were just trying to get back to the playoffs. So they succeeded. I can still remember walking through the parking lot at Bass Loft Skeets screaming, "And no!" blasting the Alan Parsons Project. I was excited. And then Zach Levine got COVID, and the Bulls didn't even make the playoffs that 2021
that's
season.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I think Lonzo Ball doesn't get hurt, they don't have a good future in general. Like if he's there playing, they'd have a great future.
Yeah, he was
but it
instrumental.
was a great start. They had the perfect chemistry. I thought they were a really good team. But if Lonzo Ball ain't there, then obviously it goes poof and goes nowhere really.
Later in the day, by the way, the Nuggets won the Aaron Gordon sweepstakes during this trade deadline. Because it was like the Magic were trading everybody. They were like, okay, we're trading Vooch, trade him to the Bulls, and Aaron Gordon, who wants him, and the Nuggets got him for, Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and Denver's 2025 first-round pick, which is top 5 protected. And that one we talked about not long ago, actually. Aaron Gordon, it wasn't amazing right from the jump, and there was injuries to the Nuggets, but of course it paid off with the way he played in their championship run.
What happened to RJ Hampton? Everybody that was in favor of that man
Miami
for
Heat,
a while.
I think now,
Yeah,
right?
is that
Yeah.
right?
I think I saw him
He
get a
definitely
little
has bounced
earlier.
around.
Yeah.
But
for
he's
sure.
barely playing.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
2020, biggest name was probably D'Angelo Russell. The Warriors traded D'Angelo Russell to the Timberwolves, along with Omari Spellman and Jacob Evans. In exchange, Golden State received Andrew Wiggins, a protected 2021 first-round pick, who would become Jonathan Kuminga, and a second-round pick. So I always forget. I gotta be honest. I always forget D'Angelo Russell was on the Warriors for a hot minute there. And the Wolves had their eyes on D'Angelo Russell since 2019 free agency. He was like a top target for them. They wanted to, I think they offered him a 4-year contract, but the Warriors swooped in with the 4-year max salary offer as part of a sign and trade in the Kevin Durant deal, which got KD from the Warriors to Brooklyn. Again, I forgot about that. KD actually signed with the Warriors. D'Angelo Russell signed with Brooklyn, and then the trade occurs. But 7 months later, 33 games with the Warriors, D'Angelo Russell, he's finally teaming up with his buddy Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota. And D'Angelo Russell and Andrew Wiggins was the biggest names traded on the 2020 deadline.
I mean, Russell at that point was an all-star, right? I guess he wasn't
Brooklyn.
coming off an all-star appearance in that season. I don't remember the year he made it, but it could have been. But
2019. Yeah.
when that happened, when the whole Durant, D'Angelo sign and trade happened, everybody said, "Oh, they're just doing this so they can have a big contract to trade." And that's exactly what happened because D'Angelo Russell had his career high for the Warriors, 52 points in Minnesota.
Ooh.
That's crazy. He, of course, mentioned that he's good friends with Karl Anthony Towns. They got together, I think, along with Devin Booker on a Slam magazine cover or something like that. And then, the Warriors went on to win the championship 2 years later, and the Timberwolves went on to trade D'Angelo Russell as well, and now they're in first place.
Trading D'Angelo Russell works out for teams.
Yeah.
He was totally adequate in Minnesota. It's a classic D'Angelo Russell where he won them some games and definitely lost them other games, but he played brutal in a 6-game series loss against the Grizzlies in 2022. He shot 33% from the floor. He was really, really bad. And then you said it, Wiggins, man, he turned into an all-star. Andrew Wiggins was an all-star. And a big part of that was the Warriors were rolling at the All-Star break. They had like 42 wins. I remember us debating, like, is Andrew Wiggins really an All-Star? Or is he just he's getting the Warriors bump here? But anyway, he made it, and then he went to the next level the next year and helping them win the title. And now, what's so weird about it all is now he's like, he's back to being even worse than he ever was at the end of his Minnesota days with whatever's going on. Yeah.
It was the ultimate locker room environment there in Golden State because people questioned, why are you acquiring Andrew Wiggins? Because the Minnesota run was obviously filled with many, many points, but not a lot of championship-type aspirations. And then he went and won one with the Golden State Warriors. So it might seem stupid now because of the way Wiggins is going right now and that he signed a 4-year deal with Golden State. But looking back, it was a heck of a deal. The whole thing from Kevin Durant to D'Angelo Russell that turned into Andrew Wiggins. They had to trade Amari Spellman. I get it. I remember Amari Spellman and Kevin Huerter and Trae Young in their press conference when they were drafted here in Atlanta in 2018. Oh, it was fun. But Amari Spellman didn't last too long. No. He was part of the weird Golden State days when they were going 15-50. That quick year. But Wiggy.
I just like the timing of this
Wiggy.
one because
and Kuminga was part of that deal as well.
Well, he was the pick. Yeah.
They should have picked Franz.
Yeah, right. Same draft. I think what's fascinating is the timing of this, right? Taking this little trip down memory lane. It's because, like, at the time, it was like, is Andrew Wiggins' career salvageable? Like, can anybody sort of save this? Like, he'd scored a lot in Minnesota, but obviously he was on the felt like he was always on the El Tizo team, right? It was like, oh, he's really good at times, then he goes missing, and so he did. The Warriors did. Can it happen again? Is he too old? Is it over? I mean, I wouldn't bet on it happening again, but I mean,
it might his be name the ultimate El Tizo.
Yeah.
Falling out in the finals, signing a $100 million contract extension a couple of months later, and then what we've seen since.
2019, our final year here. The biggest name traded at the deadline actually occurred a week before, and it was the Dallas Mavericks acquiring all-star forward Kristaps Porzingis, along with Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Courtney Lee, from the Knicks in exchange for a package that included point guard Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, your boy Wesley Matthews, and 2 future first-round picks. 2 fun notes about this Porzingis deal, him going from New York to Dallas. The deal apparently came together after Porzingis met with Knicks management on that Thursday and left the franchise with the impression that he wanted out. He's like, he doesn't want to be here. The meeting apparently lasted 5 minutes. That was reports at the time. And I guess the Knicks called New Orleans about, hey, could we get Anthony Davis? And the Pelicans were like, we're not all that interested. We don't even think Porzingis will sign here long term, so no, we're out on that. And instead he goes to Dallas here. But that made me laugh. 5 minutes, Porzingis. They're like, he doesn't want to be here. Trade his ass.
Yeah, and they tried to make it work with him and Luka, but it just ultimately... He just kept getting hurt there, and you see what the Celtics are doing differently. They went and paid a lot to go get Kristaps Porzingis, but he's sitting out fairly regularly to keep the legs fresh as much as possible, and when he's out there, looks fantastic as a support guy. But he was an all-star way back when with the Knicks. Yeah. Things look good. Then he got hurt, unfortunately, right then and there.
So he was the biggest name at that deadline, but the most impactful player traded during the 2019 deadline was the Raptors acquiring Marcus Gasol. Yeah, from the Grizzlies for Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, and a 24 second-round pick. Raptors president Masai Ujiri said at the time, Mark brings significant playoff experience to our team, which along with his savviness and leadership skills really helps position us for an ultimate postseason goal. He called his shot on that one. Gasol played in all 24 playoff games. He averaged 10, 6, and 4, had a steal and a block. He hit 34 total three-pointers in that postseason run. Was a huge reason why they took care of Joel Embiid and sort of contained him. So, yeah, Marcus Gasol was the most impactful player. But going through this, big names, but when you see the list of all the deadline moves, there are so many that are like pointless. And, it'll happen again, and we'll talk here at the table. Oh, yeah, this is a game changer, or this might mean this. But in the end, 90% of them have very little impact on the actual season. Yeah. But anyway, that was fun to do. A little trivia question, though, off of Gasol. Those 34 made three-pointers in one postseason run, only one other player listed 6'10" or taller has ever hit more in a single postseason
Kevin Durant.
in NBA history?
Dirk.
No. No and no. Center. Sorry.
Not
Oh, okay.
Center listed 6'10".
I'm like, 34 is
Or
not
taller.
that many, so should be gettable. A center
wasn't-
that
It's
hits
gettable.
some threes. Brooke Lopez?
No.
It wasn't Towns.
No. You mean you got to remember you got to play a lot of games. Like so that's
Yeah,
why.
who knows? 2 rounds, you get hot.
Yeah.
Three-point
So
shooter.
somebody went.
Bosh? Nah, he wasn't.
Bosch has one of the highest. I think
Yeah.
he hit 30 in one of the postseason runs. Channing Frye also had one postseason run where he hit a ton.
Oh yeah.
But you haven't
remember
named the
that.
guy yet. He's a superstar.
Jokic.
Jokic.
Yeah, duh.
Jokic hit
Yeah, he did
42
that.
threes in 19 games during the 2020 postseason, and then he hit 35 threes during last year's championship run. But still, pretty freaking impressive. Marcus Gasol hit 34. That's wild. Because that guy, like, we talk a lot about Brooke Lopez. I was thinking about this. Like, I'm glad you brought that up, Trey. About, like, wow, this guy didn't shoot a three-pointer, like, for the first, like, 7 or 8 years of his career, and then suddenly turned into this amazing three-point marksman. You know, Marcus Gasol, not as much, but Al Horford should be included in that, too. Al Horford made, like, 23s in his first, like, 7 years in the league, and now is, like, one of the better big men from shooting distance, and he's done it in the playoffs, too.
Yeah, and I bet you look back, he probably shot less twos in that playoff run.
Yeah, maybe.
He
Yeah.
was just standing up 3-point line.
Could be.
And he did it in very limited minutes, too, because he was sharing the center role with Serge Ibaka. He wasn't playing a ton.
Yeah.
But he was out there shooting when he was out there.
Yeah, if you round down to include 6'9" guys, Al Horford tops the list with 47 made three-pointers in just 23 games during the Celtics run to the finals. So, yeah, he was letting it fly. And again, he barely shot in Atlanta. I can't remember one single Al Horford three-pointer in Atlanta. But he added it to his game. Anyway, there it is. Again, the last 5 trade deadlines, biggest names traded. Who will it be this year? I know TK was very happy with a Lakers loss last night because every Lakers loss means it's maybe more likely that they make a trade for Zach LaVine.
Skeets, do you think it was a coincidence that I mentioned the Lakers need three-point shooting this
I
season?
do not. I do not indeed. No, you got to talk it
Not a
into existence, my man. Zach LaVine, Siakam, DeJounte Murray, or you never know. Maybe there's a surprise out there. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, tweet of the night and rapid fire. Real quick, how many things can you name that are always growing? Your ears? Your relationships? Our YouTube subscribers? And how about businesses on Shopify? Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million order stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or pushing purple patio furniture, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify, they got you covered. The stats back it up because Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to the other leading commerce platforms. 36%. That's pretty damn good. And now you can sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I love about Shopify, no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to sort of take control and take your business to the next level. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. They're the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way because businesses that grow with Shopify. So sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/nodunks. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/nodunks now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/nodunks.
New umlaut alert. Fume. Cold turkey may be great on a sandwich, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. Crystals and essential oils. No, I'm kidding. That only works if you're a Capricorn. And only when Mercury's in retrograde. No, I'm talking about our new sponsor, Fume, and they look at the problem in a different way. Not every bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device that does just that. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing and anxiety when breaking your habit. And it really does feel great holding this thing. I've got one right here, and listen to this. Just the clicks and clacks. You can't resist diddling and fiddling with it. And the flavors are great. Orange vanilla, easily my fave. But I haven't tried the maple pepper yet, and that's on deck. Feels like that one's going to be a banger. Right now is the best time to start the good habit with Fume. All orders between January 1st to the 14th have buy one, get one cores. So you can stock up for that New Year's resolution. Plus, as a friend of the show, you get an extra 10% off when you use our code. Head to tryfum.com/nodunks. That's tryfum.com/nodunks and use the code NODUNKS for an additional 10% off plus BOGO cores until January 14th to help make starting the good habit that much easier.
If you get rid of the guy having to be a center, 6'10" or taller, to hit the most three-pointers in one postseason run, it's a fun list. Durant is near the top of the list. He had 47 made threes during one of the Warriors' runs in 21 games. But number one, Rashard Lewis, 6'10", hit 52 threes over 24 games when the Magic went to the finals in 08-09. Second, Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas.
From the Suns.
Tim.
He did it in 20 games. He hit 48 threes. That's incredible.
And he's wearing 3 headbands, I heard.
Incredible stuff there. Michael Porter Jr. also had a great shooting year last year. Anyway, let's get to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
It's simple. It's a photo. If you're listening to the podcast, go seek this out on Twitter or fire up our YouTube stream. It's from @WScottDavis. The singer of the War on Drugs kind of looks like rock and roll Zach Lowe. And it's true.
Yes,
it's not bad at all. There were a lot of jokes about, this is Zach Lowe after 2 beers. Usually a 1 beer man. But great tweets. It's so good. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect.
What do you think Zach Lowe's favorite song is?
Like all music?
Yeah. I just never hear him talk about music.
No, I was going to say, is he one of these rare people that doesn't like music?
Maybe he's not passionate about music.
Yeah, not passionate
I think
about
that's a
music.
lie. I don't think there's anybody out there that doesn't like music, but maybe they don't care to know who sings the songs or what they're called.
Well, our friend Julie Gardner famously says she has no passion for music. She will not put on music in the house, in the radio. And we're like, what? She's like, I'd just rather listen to nothing. It blows our mind. It's the most insane take. But there is one person, Trey. Maybe
There's
Zach
one
Lowe.
person, yeah.
Maybe Zach Lowe is like Julie, but
I remember what it is.
here we go.
Get Low. Jalen Rose used to
Yeah.
sing it all the time, right?
Right.
I forgot about that.
Good stuff. All right, great tweet there, Scott. Let's wrap up this Drop podcast with some rapid fire fun. TK, you got the questions this week.
Man, people in the stream team are admitting they don't like music. Y'all are crazy. Put some tunes in your ears. Our first rapid fire question. A guy on Twitter posted a picture of himself standing next to a cardboard cutout of Paul George while dressed exactly like Paul George. And the caption read, "Respect greatness." Fellas, which famous person could you reasonably impersonate? Skeets.
Well, only because we were talking music. Can I go with the lead singer from Incubus? Brandon Boyd? Nah. I'll go, if I took the beard off, I've, of course, gotten before and talked about it before. Some similarities to Hall of Famer Steve Nash. So, and can I do a really shitty impersonation of him out on the basketball court? Yeah, I can. So I'll go Nash, but shout out to Incubus.
Incubus guy's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
Pretty
some
accurate.
similarities. Again, I gotta take the beard off, but yeah, it's there.
I had to look over at Trey's computer to see that photo. I don't know what the Incubus
Boyd.
guys look like. I don't like music.
Same.
If you see the guy, Brandon, I mean, I get it.
A little bit, yeah.
I've gotten it a little bit.
Sure.
In the past.
Same with me here. My pick is John Stamos. I don't really look like him, but, His background is Greek. We reshot the Full House opening theme song. I played John Stamos. This was way back when we were in San Fran, 2011. It was fun. But also, he's been the face of Oikos yogurt recently, and I don't eat Greek yogurt anymore, and I'd like to get back into it.
What happened?
Wow.
Oh, you gave it up?
Yeah, I've just had enough yogurt. It's just
Used to
it's
be
just
a
like
yogurt.
my limit.
just gonna eat. Yeah, I hit my limit.
Yeah, take a break sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yogurt.
For sure.
Back into
It's like
it.
chips, like flavors of chips. You're like, you eat too many of them. You're like, I don't ever want to eat another one of these again. Leave it 5 years and then you'll be back. You'll
I'll
be
be
back
back.
on the yogurt train.
Oh, you'll be back.
I'll be back. I'm back on the sour cream and onion. Even the boring ones, the zoots. Z, I think that's Z-U-T apostrophe S. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know.
Zoots?
It's like a standard, like, put them
brand?
with chip. Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. But it's a standard, like, throw it on some, with a sandwich type.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
Back on chips, off yogurt. JD, which famous person could you impersonate?
I mean, it's Rick Rubin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Holy
Here's a split screen of
hell yeah.
Oh,
both
And
of
you're
us.
and you're both sick producers, man.
Yeah, we are the Beastie Boys of sports shows, I think.
You look like the evil and good version of each other in this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm evil, obviously. But, yeah,
Great answer.
You look like the dude there as well, a little bit.
a little bit.
A little dudeish.
my chips were Oots, UTZ.
Oh, I love Oots.
Yeah.
Those chips are awesome.
They're good.
I love
They're very good.
the honey barbecue. That's damn good.
Chip
That's a
boys.
good chip.
Is it Oots or Uts?
I say Oots, but
Yeah, it's probably
yeah,
Utz.
Utz,
It
yeah.
looks like Utz.
Yeah.
Was that a Mad Men episode? Was there a Mad Men episode about Utz or something like
I
that?
don't know.
There
Don
was like
Draper
a-
was selling us Utz.
No, there was another guy who was like trying to pull some moves about a chip brand. I don't think it was Utz, but I don't know. I
don't remember.
I don't know, but they got good commercials. I want to try their like pretzel chips or something like that.
Yeah, they got a lot of chips.
Let us know what you guys think about Utz chips, please.
Good.
Video surfaced this week of Sixers coach Nick Nurse jamming with rock bands Mount Joy and the Arkells. I didn't know that he was going to bring his guitar to Philadelphia, but he did.
He's
But
Nick
in the,
Nurse,
but
man.
in the clip, was he not playing the piano?
Yeah, look
great
like
point.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was,
Great point.
I was
Keyboard.
blown away by that. I was like, oh, this guy can also play the piano. Like,
Plays it all, baby.
it's pretty impressive. He likes music.
He likes music. He absolutely
Here's
likes
who we
music.
know likes music in the NBA: Grant Hill and Nick Nurse.
Top two music lovers. What's another NBA/entertainment industry collaboration you'd like to see, Skeets?
Well, you guys know of the Yacht Rock Review.
Sure.
It's a band that I believe sort of started here in Atlanta. They tour around the country now. Nostalgia, heavy soft rock, right, is what we're looking at here. So I want the following players to be in the Yacht Rock Review. Did I want to fire the pun gun? Yes, I did. The Boobie Gibson brothers.
Nice.
Kenny Smith Loggins. Fleetwood Shelvin Mack.
Oh, yeah.
Steely Mike D'Antoni. Or Steely Dan Gedzurich. I don't know, whatever one you want.
Steely
And
Dan
then-
Gedzurich.
And then Michael McDonald. And you're going, oh, where's the pun in that? There was a player who played one game for the Hornets in 1998 named Michael McDonald.
Wow.
We should do a short on this guy. Yeah, he's a 6'10 center from New Orleans. He played one game. He scored, so he got some stats in the game, but his name is straight up Michael McDonald.
So you're saying he played one game and then he took it to the streets? I don't know. You could easily be lying about this. This could be something that a fool believes.
Oh, jeez. Look at He's on fire, man. He's on fire. Yeah, Michael McDonald.
Ride like the wind. I gotta come up with one for that later.
Riding the bench like the wind.
Yeah, he's from New Orleans. Maybe he's just a musician/basketball player.
That's true.
What a crazy voice Michael McDonald has.
Oh, yeah.
Tass.
Yeah.
NBA entertainment industry collaboration. Me.
Well, when you're an athlete and you're on the road, you're bound to get nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, even diarrhea. Hey, there's Pepto-Bismol. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, even diarrhea. Hey, there's Pepto-Bismol. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, even diarrhea. I can't sing this. Hey, there's Pepto-Bismol. Maybe it's just the music that's throwing me off. I just want 5 NBA players to redo the Pepto-Bismol ad, which was five people standing side by side, holding their stomach or holding their butts because they're having problems. So, actually, when Netflix does their new their new thing.
New series?
Yeah, their new series. Why we have Sabonis, Anthony Edwards, LeBron, Butler, and Tatum on the front. They should do a Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah,
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, they
Each
go
of
on the
them
road.
representing the various elements that Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, nausea, heartburn, indigestion up to the stomach, even diarrhea. Out of those 5 guys, who gets diarrhea? Sabonis, Anthony Edwards,
Butler, obviously.
Butler. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, done and done. Tatum would bring out his Tatums to help his stomach, but why the heck not?
Wow, we are firing them.
You should remake the Pepto-Bismol commercial. I love it. I did not
good ad.
expect that.
Because when you think music, and then you think Pepto-Bismol's commercial.
Well, I had some hot pot last week, and somebody mentioned that to me, just in case.
Really?
Yeah. My stomach did hurt, but I didn't have Pepto.
Have you ever taken Pepto-Bismol?
Never.
I've never.
Gross.
I'm still a devotee.
I gotta take it every day.
Wow! you should be on the new docu-series.
Yes.
Get your Rick Rubin on and produce this commercial.
Yeah. No, I suffer from all of them.
Really?
Yeah. Almost like the Macarena over here.
Do you
Like,
drink the liquid or take the tabs or what?
Liquid. Yeah, liquid's the most immediate. I'm just kidding. I don't take it every day, but I have definitely taken it before.
Not a fun product to buy at the store, though.
No.
You're like, just one bottle of Pepto-Bismol, please. Please don't ask the question. Not for me.
Oh, man.
For my sick children. Raptors coach Darko.
Did JD answer?
Yeah.
I have not answered. I have no puns. And it's not music related, but it is a collaboration. NBA Entertainment. Dirk Nowitzki paired up with, you know what? Fuck it, me. I'm in the NBA entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And it's me and Dirk versus Tyson Apostle and Aisha Tyler, 2 big pickleball people, and we're playing pickleball. A celebrity cage match of pickleball.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I want to see.
What would you call it? Because like they've had like the match or whatever is like the golf one, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The dink probably.
Oh, the dink coming up onto the cock later.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Brought to you by Pepto-Bismol. Raptors coach Darko Rajakovic went on an epic rant earlier this week after a loss in which the Lakers took 23 fourth-quarter free throws to Toronto's 2. He called the officiating complete crap. Get him some Pepto-Bismol, he said. Guys, what's something infuriating that makes you want to go on a Darko-style rant?
I don't know about infuriating, but I shared this on Twitter the other day, so let me lean into the rant. It was about the discourse around Pat McAfee recently with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing and Norby Williamson, ESPN, and all of that, and that's fine, and you can leave that where it is. But there was a lot of talking about Pat McAfee and the move from YouTube, his show, to ESPN. The idea of like sort of a podcast or a YouTube show going to a big network. And a lot of people talking about it, maybe it was doing well, maybe it's not, whatever. But within all these podcasts I heard about it, within all these articles I heard about it, whenever that was mentioned, I was waiting, just waiting for someone to bring up our show, The Basketball Jones, going from a podcast, sort of a YouTube show, to NBA TV as the starters. Mm-hmm. You know,
Yep.
It was a success.
Yeah.
6
Absolutely.
seasons, 1,000+ shows, young demographic. Yes, we eventually did not sign the 3rd contract. We got
I'm sorry. Shows get canceled.
Hey, look, we
6
got a little
seasons.
forced out during a merger, if we're being completely honest.
That's exactly right.
But the point was, I just kept waiting for it to come up. Somebody drop it. It was a success. And it never did. So I just let I let the X know. And people, of course, I was not looking for compliments, but I'm just like, put some respect on our name. You forgot about us. And that's it. So that was sort of a rant. I guess I was turning into a rant.
That was nice.
Okay.
That was nice.
Yeah,
Like
man.
a table pound, perhaps? Yeah, exactly.
Take that.
Take that for data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we were and are one of the rare, and there are others, don't get me wrong, but rare, like podcast to TV success stories. It can be done. We did it.
We left TV when it was cool to leave TV. TV's dead, baby.
It's all streaming now.
We'll be back on TV. You
Yeah,
see.
eventually. But
And then it will be cool again.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we decide, though.
It's up to us.
I will
That's
say
exactly
Peacock
right.
may no longer be an option for us.
We can't go on the cock?
I don't know if they'd like us calling it that. Better than the P. Tass, what are you going on a rant about?
In general, VR headsets. Because I want them to work every time I see them. I want to make that purchase, but every time I put them on my face, they don't work. I mean, they work fine. But this ain't the future yet. It's like us starting our podcast 20 years ago. Now everybody podcasting. Maybe podcasts weren't good for a while. 6, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. But they came around. Just like VR headsets, I think they will come around. But they're not the most... I don't know even the word is. It's not a great experience every single time.
Yeah.
So one day.
This came up last night after we played hoops and we went for wings. We started talking about VR. Someone was like, do people still watch NBA games on their VR headsets? And Trey and I were like, you don't hear anything about it anymore.
Definitely
Maybe.
not.
You were the only, you were one of the rare people, Tass was, that even tried it. Mm-hmm. You said it was fine, but
it was fine.
The problem is, 15 minutes later, you're wearing this dumb headset.
Yeah, I'm using my eyes to watch a game. It didn't feel like I was there exactly. And it's innovative and all that, but I could also just take it off and watch the game. And
look at your wife and kids and around your room. Yeah,
I'm tapped in. I'm in Golden State now. It's been around a long time. VR at this point, I feel like.
There's a new one coming from Apple, I think, like a new headset.
If it doesn't work with Apple, that's bad.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
They're the future.
JD, what are you ranting about?
It's the YouTube algorithm, and I don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, but it's complete crap, to use Darko's words. On one hand, it rewards you for negativity. Like, you know, whenever we put, it's the worst dunk you've ever seen or whatever, it goes through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, it's pushing it to people. People are angry. It's going to get angry. But on the other hand, especially on the is this good side, anything. It's like, I picture the algorithm as like a pearl clutching schoolmarm from the 1930s who's just like any sort of reference to nudity or anything like scandalous, like the stuff that that has been choked down or throttled on the is this good side, urination in a pool, like nobody, it just censored us. A wardrobe malfunction. To be fair, we did. We said breasts akimbo. That was said by our guest. But still, vaping. We talked about an age gap between two of our guests. All this stuff has just been throttled for no reason. We spend so much time agonizing over, what should we call this? Let's call it, the algorithm's not going to like that. Don't call it that. It's just like, God.
That's really tough for a show like Is This Good?
I know, because everything is like, it's all, our brand is, what is it? Sucking, fucking, and puking. And nothing, this is going to get throttled because I uttered those words.
But what did you start your rant with?
We were screaming the cock for a good 3 minutes,
That's true.
too.
Well, we were talking about peacock.
Yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Skeets.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about
You're worse than the algorithm.
Oh, wait. We were talking about streaming? Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Yeah.
Good rant.
God damn.
You'll do your head in trying to figure out.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and it could change. It could change overnight. And content creation. Like, I'd rather deal with the FCC, to be honest. Like, they're more. It's like the SNL sketch when they're we can say penis. Great, we're gonna say it 55 times in one sketch.
Right.
You can't say penis on the YouTube algorithm. It's the internet, guys. Anyway, that's it.
Do you click the not for kids and all that?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Good stuff.
That's a great rant.
A great rant.
Nobody can figure out the algorithm. It's a mystery.
He's fired up, man. All right, that's the rapid fire portion of the show. Not so rapid, but who cares? That's the drop. Hopefully a classic. You tell us. You got to help us beat the algorithm on this one, guys. You got to hit that like button. You got to subscribe. You got to share the show. Or otherwise, we're going to have like 5 views on this one for all the stuff we said here. So help us out. Do your part. Podcast listeners, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. There are 23 NBA games on this weekend. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
Chunky.
It's a holiday here in the States for most people. Martin Luther King Day. But we're going to be here at 10 a.m. to break down the weekend. So join us live here from the Classic Factory on YouTube at 10 a.m. And yeah, we have a lot to talk about in theory. Will we get a big trade? Will there be an emergency podcast for crying out loud? You never know as we get closer and closer to the deadline. So we'll see you for either an emergency podcast or on Monday. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, the algorithm on the internet can be complete crap. Although it was pretty good for us when we talked about Darko. So thanks. Thanks, Darko.
Well,
Appreciate
it speaks to what JD was saying.
Yeah.
Negativity, anger, the worst, the referees. Crap videos.
Thanks for that word. Crap is good because
It is a good word.
Yeah.
it's good because I think it straddles the line.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not too bad. That's right.
Embrace the weekend, people.